to this computer. All right, how y'all doing? Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Power Launch Tribe. We're here every Tuesday to go over topics related to helping you to explode your real estate business. So the Power Launch Tribe for real estate agents, this is our weekly lunch and learn. So wherever you're zooming in from, certainly, share this information with individuals as we are communicating the lunch and learns. You want to be able to share the video as well with whoever you feel, might need the information. And here at the Power Launch Tribe, our success system basically helps people, new and struggling agents, to prepare for success in their business. And that preparation is basically founded in personal development. And then we have an acronym, and it's the POWER acronym. And the O in that acronym is basically for organize, organization with business systems. The W is related to revenue producing activities, which equals work. What's the work that you need to do in order to create success for yourselves in this industry that is ever changing, ever evolving. So that's going to be very key for you to be able to identify the work. And we also want to help you to empower your success team, those individuals that you're attracting to the company. We want to put you in a position where you can empower them so that they can actually have success as well. And then we want to also put you on a track where you can actually help them to reproduce your results of success. And that replication or reproduction basically allows the organization to grow and everyone to be on the same page and be able to thrive from that perspective. So we want you to be able to launch your business with power, whether you're new or whether you're relaunching or whether you're just having some challenges. We want you to be able to plug into the information and be able to apply that information in a practical manner and then get the results that you need from there. So today we're going to be talking about verbal tools. And the verbal tools are what we consider the things that you're saying, the words that are coming out of your mouth. And these are the things that we deem to create success for you, create that commission, that large CGI. Is that it? Gross GCI. GCI, that's the one, gross commission income. So we want to make sure that that number at the end of the year is as large as possible. And the thing that really creates that is really what's coming out of your mouth. And those are what we call verbal tools. So
I'm Shamira Gambrell, and he is
C. Thomas Gambrell.
All right. So I just want to do a little quick introduction before we get started.
So relating is the first verbal tool. So relating is very key because people do business with people that they trust and that they like, right? And it's not like what, hey, we got to go out, have dinner. It's just that you have a good feeling about that person. And the way to create that rapport is really by just relating to the person. And one of the ways that you can relate to people is really, there's an acronym. It's called FORM. It's family, occupation, recreation, and money. So these are ways that you can actually relate to people without knowing a lot about them. If it's somebody that you know, of course, you know what to say to them. You know the topics that you want to talk about. But if it's someone that you're meeting for the first time, it's easy to strike up conversation either about family, about occupation, about recreation, or money. And the relating is going to be key because at the end of the day, the business transaction is really about the relationship, especially in the field, in the industry of real estate. It's certainly about who you know, and it's also about referrals. Mm-hmm. And people don't refer to people that they don't like or have some level of rapport with. So relating is going to be key, and we have had an opportunity through different transactions to really see how this plays out. We met a young lady. You don't have to say her name, right? But you know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
Tell them about that experience, right? As we were relating with her.
So we met with the agent. We were closing a deal, and just having conversation with her, she was very enamored with us and was like, "Hey, you need to come and work with me." And so that's the kind of relationship that you want to have. We maybe were talking with this woman for like 10, 15 minutes,
Right.
and she wanted us on her team, right? And so that's what you want to happen. And we're like, no, you need to come and work with us. But certainly we can work together, right? But she was very adamant about us coming over to her team. And I'm like, listen, you can work where you work, we can work where we work, but still work together. And those are those relationships that you want to form using your verbal tool of relating. The other thing that I want to say really quickly, and this will probably be an entire lunch and learn in and of itself, is that acronym form will help you to try to determine what type of personality type you're dealing with. And so they're just different personality types. I'm not going to really delve into that today, but we'll probably do a lunch and learn specific to that topic. But just keep in mind that as you're doing this cursory relating using this verbal tool, you want to use form to figure out, right? So that's family, occupation, recreation, and money, right? You want to use that to try to glean what type of personality type you're dealing with, because that's what's going to help you to relate that much better to that person, right? And so when you relate well, people will like you. People will want to work with you, and people will be willing to give you referrals. The young lady that we met was like, we definitely have to work together. She wants to, do more deals together. And that's awesome. And that was out of like a 15, 20-minute in-person interaction. And that's what you want to happen. And so if you use your words wisely, it will absolutely work to your benefit.
No doubt. So relating, is definitely going to be key. It sets the foundation for better communication. It sets the foundation for cooperation, and you put yourself in a position where it's someone again that it's not just about the deal that you're on or the potential deal. It's about the referrals down the line. It's about being able to do more business, in the long run. So the next topic we have here is called edifying or edification.
Yes.
Now, when I first saw that word, I had no idea what it meant. But it was broken down, from the perspective of just talking very highly about someone or a process or a thing, from that perspective. So from the standpoint of edification in real estate is that you're talking positively about everything. You're talking about the industry in a positive way. You're talking about mortgage rates in a positive way. You're edifying, mortgage rates even. But, more so it's you want to be able to edify the people that you're in business with, your broker. You want to edify the broker. You want to talk positively about the broker to individuals. You want to talk positively about if you're in a situation where you're in a rental agreement or a lease, you're negotiating a lease, you're talking positively about the owner as well as the potential tenants, right? And even a cooperating broker. So edification is just positive talk. If you have any issues or challenges, you want to talk to the person that sponsored you into your company, and talk to them about something that might be not going as well as you would like. But never, talk to clients, customers, potential tenants, or owners or landlords, negative information. You always want to certainly tell the truth, but
Absolutely.
you don't want to do it in a negative way. You want to find a pleasant way to share the hard truth sometimes. But there's, it's the words that you use, it's your demeanor, it's your tone of voice. But edification is going to be key because, people want to be around positive energy. They don't want to be around a negative person. They might sit there and listen to you gripe, but they're not going to listen to you again. They're not coming back for a second dose of negative energy. So you want to put yourself in a position where you have that positive energy. And if you're having a good day, go out into the marketplace, talk positively about everything. If you're having a bad day, stay home, get you some Haagen-Dazs, turn on Netflix, and just, eat your sorrows. Well, that's a bad advice, right? But don't eat your sorrows, but enjoy the Haagen-Dazs, and just relax, right? And when you feel better, you want to talk more positive, about life and business, then get out into the marketplace and use your verbal skills, your verbal tool of edification.
Yeah, edification is really important. And you'll begin to see a thread because the edification also relates back to the relating and then the personality types that I mentioned. The other thing, like C said, is that you don't want to lie, right? You want to be positive and truthful, right? So the young lady that we met, I can say, right, she loves her job. She loves to help people. She loves to work with people. If you need somebody, I believe her area of expertise was foreclosures. If you need somebody in foreclosures, you want to work with her, right? And so that's a positive edification. And there was nothing untrue in there. So you basically don't want to blow smoke, right? Just to try to make people look good. You want to say things that are true because people will be able to tell whether or not you're authentic. You may think that they can't, but they can sense it. They'll hear it, they will know. So you want to be authentic in what it is that you're saying when you're edifying. And like she said, people like to be around positivity. Positivity. I had to get my P words together, right? People like to be around that. And so just think about when you're working with an agent on the other end and you're edifying them, they're going to appreciate that because one, they may not be expecting it, right? Because now you're bringing your verbal toolkit and you're doing something different than something that they may be accustomed to, right? And so that may be something that helps them to relate to you better, right? Because you picked on things that they like to do or that they're really good at, and you're able to edify them throughout this interaction and this transaction, right? To whatever clients are present. And then also maybe to other agents when, it may come up and somebody says, hey, I need something in foreclosure. Listen, I know the perfect person for that. I met her during a deal, blah, 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 blah. Here's her contact information. And that is how you want people to talk about you, right? When you're not in the room, you want edification to be happening. And the way to do that, people say, if you want respect, you got to give respect. You edify people, people will edify you, right? So just something to keep in mind.
Yes, it's called edifying, not edifying.
Exactly. Exactly.
Excellent, excellent. So our next verbal tool is promoting. Now this, look, the person that promotes the best will make the most money because you're going to be promoting, guess what? Properties. You're going to be promoting deals. You're going to be promoting mortgage bankers. You're going to be promoting all, everything that it deals with real estate,
And yourself.
is something that you can promote as well as yourself. Yes, certainly. Don't forget yourself, right? So, we're talking about social media, we're talking about promotion, advertising, publicity. These are all ways that you can actually get yourself promoted. Also, joining organizations, and allowing people to introduce you, as, hey, this is our new member, and this is what they do, and this is what they're about. So promoting is going to be key. And the thing about promoting is that you want to promote the house or the deal that you're working on like it's the last deal. Like there's no more houses after this house. There's no more houses going to be sold, right? This is the last house on earth. And you want to promote it, all the benefits and features of that particular home, and the process that they're going to go through. You're going to promote the ease of that process, and then once you promote the ease of that process, you have to make sure that the process is a process with ease, right? So you want to promote in advance, and then you're going to support that promotion with the actual work that you put in in order to honor the marketing message that you put out as it relates to your work ethic, to the project that you're working on, and the house that you're promoting, and the neighborhood, right? You're promoting neighborhoods, you're promoting whatever the school is in the area, as far as the success of the school. So promoting is going to be very key. And the story that I could think about, as it relates to promoting, I don't know if you are old enough, but I'm old enough to remember when Mike Tyson bit Evander Holyfield's ear in a boxing match. And Don King, who is probably one of the best promoters on the planet, boxing promoter, they interviewed Don King after the event. And they asked him about Mike Tyson biting Evander Holyfield's ear. And he looked right into the camera and he said, next week, so-and-so is going to be fighting so-and-so because that's going to be the next best fight on the planet. He didn't even address the question. He was like, that money is made. The fight is over. I don't care about that. This man is asking me a question. I got the attention of America for about 15 seconds. I'm talking about the next fight. So you want to always promote that thing that's happening like it's the next best thing, right? And think about, how professional promoters promote things. They're excited, they're enthusiastic, they have some type of charisma or personality, and you can create that for yourself, as you are, putting your whole brand together, and your personality is certainly part of your brand as a real estate agent from that perspective.
Yep. Well said. Well said.
Well said.
Absolutely.
All right, next slide. That's code. Next slide. So fear of loss. You have any good fear of loss stories? What is it meant by fear of loss?
So I'm going to translate that into today's vernacular, right? And there's an acronym that people use a lot that's closely related to fear of loss, and it's FOMO, FOMO, fear of missing out. And fear of loss is when, let's just say, so we've talked about relating, edifying, and promoting. So you're promoting a home and you may be talking to a client, and listen, this is a really good home, or a customer you may be talking to, and you want to promote it so well, right? That they have a concern that if they don't jump on this particular opportunity, they're going to miss out.
Right.
Right. And that is about how you promote something, right? How you relate to people and how you edify what is happening, right? And all those things put together, you can put you in that perfect storm in order to have fear of loss. Because like C said, when you're promoting, you want to promote like it's the last house. They stopped making houses after this one. There are no more, right? This is it. This is the only one. This is the one that you need, right? And you want people to feel like that if they don't, move on this transaction, that they're going to miss out, right? They're going to miss out. So that's definitely, in relation to the real estate piece, but also when you're trying to attract people to work with you, you want to, let them know what it is that you have going on. Right. And so, like I mentioned, the young lady was like, oh, you need to come and work, with me. No, ma'am. You need to come and work with me, right? Because this is happening, that's happening. This is the great atmosphere that's going on. I'm in a place where I can work with agents internationally, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that then there's that comparison and contrast. And it's like, well, wow, maybe I'm missing out on something over there. And maybe I need to take a closer look at what they're doing. And so that's what you want to do as far as that verbal tool is concerned. But again, remember, we're telling truth, not fiction.
Right.
We're using facts, not lies.
And that fear of loss thing, is real, right? We all have experienced it in some form or fashion in our personal relationships, going for a job. And I know that I was working when I first when I first got out of college many moons ago. I was working in an office, and I'm what you would consider a what is it? What's that thing called? Lottery? I don't even know what it's called anymore. What is it called? Come on, Mega Millions or whatever. What
Okay.
what is it?
What, the lotto?
The Lotto. Yeah, they still call it that.
Yes.
Okay. So, so I'm in this office and the jackpot got up to like a large number. Nothing like yet, like last week, I think it was 1.5 billion. It wasn't even that high. It might have been about 600 million or something like that, which was probably at that point in time one of the largest ever. And I was like, I'm not playing that. I'm gonna make my own money. People out here wasting their money on that. That's why the jackpot is so big. Everybody's losing, and they just putting money into it. So I'm all snobby, and they are handing around this contract. So they're signing a contract. They're pooling their money, and somebody's gonna go down there and buy a whole bunch of tickets, right? So the dude was about to walk out the door with the contract. I was like, "Hey, man, come here, man." Gave him $20 begrudgingly, and then I signed my name to that contract because I was fear of loss. Like I had a picture in my mind of them hitting the jackpot and me being the only one that did not put money in because I got this old snobby, attitude about it. So fear of loss is real.
Absolutely.
It's real, and it can be a motivator as well. But when you have someone in that state of fear of loss, you don't want to leave them there. You don't want to leave them because it could have like a negative, emotion attached to it. So you don't want to leave them in that state. You want to basically close it out with vision talk. So once you have somebody in that kind of mindset of fear of loss, they kind of like, wow, I might lose out, right? You don't want them to stay in that state.
Right.
You want to push them to like, okay, what's the possibilities? Like, what is the vision? Like, what is your life going to be like when you have your family in this home?
Exactly.
And you have room for everyone?
Exactly.
And you got a dishwasher, right? And you got the things that you need that you didn't have, right? So you're going to be able to contrast that to maybe their current situation, to the vision of what the potential is, and that relates to everything, as it relates to your business, working with the team that you're working with, the vision of being able to get a really high GCI, as it relates to being able to generate revenue, the type of systems that you have available to you at a very low cost, the minds that you have available to you as far as mentoring and coaching, right? So the vision. So there's the business side of it, but then there's also the transaction side of it. And you want to be able to use that verbal tool of vision talk, across the board as you're building your business with regard to attracting agents, with regard to attracting business, closing deals. This is a very key tool from that perspective.
Absolutely. And so we've gone through these 5 verbal tools, and you may have been using some of them, right? And now we just put a name and a face to it for you, or maybe you haven't. And so now you can begin to try to implement some of these things, but you can see how they are all intertwined and how they all connect and can all work off of one another. And absolutely, like for example, for the vision talk, you are not a good real estate agent if you are not making sure that the prospective buyer is envisioning themselves living in that home, right? That's like the bare minimum that you have to do. And so we should all be doing at least that, right? They need to be able to see themselves and their dogs, their cats, their children, their extended family coming over for celebrations, whatever it is. That is definitely vision talk that you want to be having in every prospective sale. You want to be having that vision talk. And if it's, with the seller, it's about, okay, where are you going from here? Right? I'm going to help you sell this and then help you go get to where you want to go after. So you definitely want to make sure that you are utilizing that verbal tool. But honestly, you want to make sure that you're utilizing all 5 of these tools.
No doubt. And just a quick synopsis. I mean, this is a more lengthy training because as we kind of identify each area, there's like workshop type of skills that we kind of work on as it relates to relating. But just like a very simple example, this is a very simple example. You're in a grocery store, you see someone, you relate with them. Hey, that's a really nice tie, or that's a really nice dress, or hey, where did you get that suit from? Right. So you're relating with them. You're kind of striking up a conversation. Inevitably, it goes to like, what do you do for a living? So now you have opportunity to edify what you do as a real estate agent, edifying that process. Not the process, but the concept of you being in the industry, what the industry is, and then hey, you promote that open house that's coming up. I don't know if you're interested, but there is an open house coming up. And then the fear of loss, the house is not going to be on the market for that long. We're anticipating it being sold, during the open house. And certainly if you're in the market for a home, it's something that, you have an opportunity to, have your family in and, live that next level of existence, so to speak. So that's just kind of like how you would kind of thread them together, even in a very short conversation that you might be having with someone that you just met. So you can use those tools not only with people that are looking to become real estate agents, but you can also use those tools with those individuals that you are working with on a transactional level, each aspect, of that transaction. So that's it for the 5 verbal tools. And we want to thank you for your time, your attention, and your energy. And we will see you next week with another topic.
Be well.
Be well.